of the biggest hurdles is that people, a lot of organisations are not that mature in their thinking. So they go into the marketplace looking for monitoring solutions, thinking that the problem that they have to solve is a monitoring problem and that they need more visibility into where they've got problems so that they can then deploy their people to go and fix those. And in reality, there's another way to look at this. By proactively optimizing the infrastructure, you can eliminate a lot of the observation that people would otherwise do in order to try and figure out how to fix it. The problem is not how to fix it. People should be looking at how to actually put it into and keep it in a desirable state, because then they'll end up with a lot fewer problems and incidents and human resources, spending time on essentially what a non-productive support activity is. They cost the business money, but they don't generate any value for the business. And you can make the environment more efficient as well. You can also apply this solution to planning for the future. Many organisations have a lot of change going on in their virtual data centre, people provisioning new applications all the time, and this is accelerated as organisations move to an infrastructure as a service model and they start to provide a portal where people can come and request a virtual machine and provision it without a human being involved. It just increases the rate of change and churn going on. And what you need to be able to do is accommodate that demand in an effective way. And we provide several capabilities to allow organisations to do that. So at the point of provisioning, we have a capability where we can look at the workload that's about to be deployed and we can analyse where is the best place to actually run that workload in the infrastructure given the demand that's going on right now, and even more importantly, can I safely deploy it? Do I need to provision more physical capacity because I've actually reached the point where I couldn't meet the demand that was going to be associated with that new entity. Another dimension to planning is being able to simulate changes as well. So I may have different things going on in my organisation, adding new applications, changing the profile of existing applications. If I'm going to scale out a website, for example, I may be coming up for a tech refresh and wanting to replace old hardware in my data center. So we're seeing a lot of customers now move from legacy server architecture to things like Cisco UCS, which is a really very powerful next generation server platform. And they want to be able to answer the question, what would happen if I made these changes? What would the future look like? And we provide an ability to run our algorithm and play that out into the future. So I can figure out if I'm going to move from this old Dell server to this new Cisco UCS, how many I will need, how I would go about actually optimizing the placement of workloads across that new infrastructure. I could assess what configuration of the UCS blade servers were the most cost effective to meet my requirements. Taking into account things like software licensing as well, which can have an impact if you have 4 CPU versus 2 CPU platforms. So managing and getting a very accurate picture of the future is very important, both from the point of view of managing quality of service, but also making sure that you can tightly control your capital and operational expenses as well.